Our news for the day. Debate over the future of a field that once likely saw British and American forces clash in the village of Sackets Harbor. One side says it's an irreplaceable piece of history, and the other says it is some prime real estate. Sackets' local development corporation has voted to turn that land into a housing project. They did this last year, much to the Battlefield Alliance's dismay. The plan is to divvy that field up into 20 different parcels of land, adding some $7 million in taxable value. 7 News reporter Chad Charette has more.
To Mark Pacilio, president of the Sackets Harbor Battlefield Alliance, this stretch of open field along Ambrose Street is hallowed ground.
We've got to protect those hallowed grounds for which men fought and died for American freedom.
Sackets Local Development Corporation has voted to turn the land into a housing project. They did so last year, much to the Battlefield Alliance's dismay. The plan is to divvy the field up into 20 parcels of land, adding some $7 million in taxable value.
I want to see new customers. I want to see new families at the school. I want to see new developments. I also fully recognize and understand the historical preservation.
At this meeting Tuesday night, the Battlefield Alliance defended its position, citing recent archaeological findings from Dr. Tim Abel, including musket balls dug up on site.
When there is new intel, we need to stop, we need to evaluate, and we need to be open to the idea of pivoting.
A section near Ambrose Street in Sackets Harbor has been deemed core battlefield, yet the village wants to develop it and sell to private interests.
Sackets Harbor Mayor Alex Morja attended the meeting. He's in favor of the project. Its location gives it easy access to village water and sewer systems. Morja says that's something alternate sites the Battlefield Alliance points to wouldn't have. He also believes the tax revenue it generates will benefit the community.
Taking land that is off the tax rolls and putting it on the tax rolls at full build value functionally means either we pay 2% less in taxes or the district gets 2% more money.
The village is currently waiting on Department of Health approval before the plan can be finalized.